I'm Missy. I'm an account manager at GoSkills. So I'm just going to walk through reporting and obviously creating the courses and learning paths and all that's very important. But understanding what your learners are doing on the platform and how they're progressing through courses is definitely a huge element that you as administrators need to be able to find that data and see exactly how GoSkills offers that. So sharing my screen, when you log in, there's a couple different places you can go to see reports. You can go under Creator, and you can see there are reports here. The reports under here are only going to show you courses that you've actually created or participated in the creation for. So the data that you're going to see here is going to be very similar to what I'm going to show you on the admin side of things. But I did want to mention that, like, if you have somebody that's in a creator role only, they will be able to at least see reporting here. Going over to the admin side of things, if you're the admin on the account, you will be able to see more detailed reporting here, and you will be able to see the reporting for all of your courses. So I'm going to go to the courses option first and let it pull that up. You can see when you pull up your courses report, there's several different things you can filter by. So you can select your date range. If you want to look at like the last year, if you want to look at the last 2 years is what it defaults to. You could look at last week, whatever the date ranges that is most important to you, you can pull that up. I know I work with a lot of administrators that like to report out to higher ups or their managers and things like that. So they may do it on a monthly basis, and they'll come here and just filter by the report and pull the information. You can filter by, I'm going to make that this year, and you can filter by course type. So within the course builder, we have on demand and live courses. You can filter by the course status. So if they're in draft, published, or archived. You can look at your course library. So GoSkills does have our own course library. You could filter just to see those courses, or you can remove that and just see the courses that you've created through the course builder. And you can also filter by teams. So if you want to see a specific team, like only the finance team, you can filter that data. So a lot of different ways you can filter the data to see exactly what you need to see. The summary information is going to show you like the courses started, courses in progress, courses completed, lessons completed. You can see if you hover over these, it does tell you too that like it's the total number of lessons completed by a learner, and then the total time spent learning. Below that, you're going to see the actual courses. So there's a lot of different courses in here. I'm going to go into this data privacy awareness course. You can see just in this, though, just a quick glimpse. I can see that, like, for the data privacy awareness, that 10 learners have started. There's 8 learners in progress, 2 have completed, and the average test score is 90%. The course is a published course. So if I click to go into the data privacy awareness, it's going to pull up information that is just related to this course. So the page before was across all courses. This is just related to the data privacy awareness course. Again, you can change your date range, or you can change your teams, filter by that, but you can see your summary information again. This is very similar to what we just saw on the page before that kind of gave you the overview, but it's learners started, learners in progress, learners completed, and then the time spent learning. Scrolling down, you can see the time spent learning, like when the most activity happened. It looks like a lot happened between March and May. You can see test scores for the different months and in the different ranges. And then when I scroll down even further, I can see individual learners and their performance. So for example, within the table, I can see that Scott, the last time he accessed this was May 10th. He has spent 47 minutes and 22 seconds in it. His completion progress is 92%. He did get 100% on the test, and the completion date was April 27th, and the status is completed. For Julian, for example, the last accessed was April 20th. He spent 24 minutes. Completion progress is 100%. His score is 86% on the test, and completion date was April 20th. You can see Claudia's in progress on this one. If you click on the test score, it will show you exactly what the learner like how they answered the final exam questions. So looking at it, you can see the score was 86%. Julian was able to answer 6 of the 7 questions correctly. He met the minimum score requirement of an 85% to be considered passed. And you can go down and you can see every single question and how Julian answered it, and see that these were all correct. I think he did get one incorrect here. So you can see how he answered it and what the correct answer was. You can also, like, if you just want to filter to see the incorrect answers, you can do that as well, just by toggling this little button. So that is how you drill in to the actual reports from the course's perspective. You can also export a lot of this data as well. So if you export the report, you can see the different sections that you can include. So you can include the summary or the course's information, and it will just dump that out into an Excel spreadsheet for you. The other thing that I like to point out is this course is completed. As Sarah was mentioning, like when you create the learning paths, you're going to want to set due dates and things like that. This course is completed is a great option right now to go in and see that people have completed the courses by the due date that you've assigned. Again, you can filter to see the different information. I'm going to remove the GoSkills courses for now. But this will just allow you, like if Pura Vida was the course that you had a due date of October 10th, you can come in here and you can see that, Kieran completed it, Scott completed it by the due date. So it's a good way for you to make sure that people are completing things by the due dates.
Hey, Missi.
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but it did look like Nada looked like really wanted
Yeah,
to jump in there and had a question.
yeah, I have a question. So the platform measures how long people stay on a video, correct? So if a video, let's say it's 5 minutes long and the person has just skipped from the beginning to the end, would
Mhm.
it count only how much they viewed the video, or would it count 5 minutes?
It's only how much they were on there. So it wouldn't be
Okay,
the whole 5 minutes. Yeah.
so they cannot cheat that they have watched the video that it's 5 minutes from skipping from the beginning till the end,
Right.
basically.
They
Okay,
can't,
cool.
they can't cheat, but you're going to be able to see it in the time spent learning.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted to check.
Yeah. And
Yes, and also,
there's also a setting when you create your
yes,
course.
exactly.
Oh, you were going to say that, Maggie? Yeah, that you can,
Yes.
that they can't fast forward through the video. I know that's very popular. Yeah, great question. I know another question that comes up on time spent learning a lot is, can they just open their browser and kind of leave it sitting there, and will it be calculating time spent? We do, after a 1 minute idle time, we stop calculating the time spent learning. Now, if they start the video and they walk away, then obviously we are still counting that. So I guess there are ways they can cheat the system. But we do, if we notice that it's just like the course is open in their browser and they've walked away from it, we stop calculating.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, good question. Great question. So kind of going back to this, you can export this report as well. And this one is kind of a nice one to sometimes export it into Excel, because then you can kind of sort and filter and see, exactly the course you're looking for and if they completed it and if it was completed by the due date. I'm going to go back to the reports and show you that we also have learners over here. So you can look at the courses like we just kind of walked through, but you can also look at reporting by learner information. Again, you have the same filters, summary information. You're going to be able to see like how many learners are in progress, how many learners have completed a course. the total certificates earned by learners, total time spent learning, and total coins earned. Coins is part of our gamification system. So you'll see the gamification stats here as well. So you can see the different levels that your learners are at, and you can see your activity of your learners. Below, you'll see your learner's performance. So you can specifically go into a learner, see how many courses they have in progress, courses completed. You can also filter this, I think, or I know at the top to show just the GoSkills courses or your custom courses. So if you're just looking at the custom courses, filter by that. And then lessons completed, you can see the last time they accessed it, the time spent learning, coins collected, and the status of the learner. So if the learner has an active license. If I click into a learner, so the last time when we clicked into a course, it showed the specific information by course. If I click into a learner, it's going to show specific information for this learner. So you can see the date range. You can see like this learner has started 61 courses, 102 in progress, courses completed, time spent learning. You can see like when they've been most active, their gamification information. There's an activity log to see exactly what they've done. And then you can see all the courses that are in progress or they've at least started. And you can kind of see like, okay, great, the data privacy awareness. Last access 3 days ago, passed it. Completion date was December 11th. You can click into that and it's going to show you information specifically for this learner on this course. So this learner got 100% progress, 100% on the test. Total time spent was 6 minutes and 15 seconds. The time spent is barely showing on here because it was all done in one day. And then the activity log, you can kind of see when they started the different lessons and things like that. No certificates on this course, but if your course had certificates, you'd be able to see those certificates and download them here. And then you can see test attempts. So you can see how many times they tried to take the test, and you can see the score they received every time. And you can go in and you can see like how they answered the questions every time as well.
You mentioned that if there were certificates, they would be there, but is there a template for certificates on your, maybe it's not the correct question for you exactly, but it's a question you can answer at a later stage if you have a template for certificates for different courses.
There definitely is. So when you're in the course builder and you're creating your course, there is a certificate template here. I'll just jump over here real quick. But yeah, so you can decide if you want to add their certificate or not. And then it shows you the different kind of certificates. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Great questions. I knew reporting would probably generate a few more questions because it's kind of one of the hot topics. But that really is kind of the bulk of the reporting. We have put a lot of time into our reporting, and you should be seeing, I would say, at the beginning of the year, a new report called a performance report. That report is going to make it even easier to like track your assignments and see learners. It's going to allow you to filter by assignments, to filter by those who missed due dates and those who have hit the due dates, things like that. So it's really probably going to be one of those reports that you could just print out and hand it to your upper level management to say, okay, here's what's really going on GoSkills.
That's good to know.
Yeah, so watch for that coming soon.
I'm wondering if you would have an option where we can add our own categories for reporting. For example, we often do internal reporting based on like cost centers. So if there would be an option in the future, and that's a suggestion if you don't have it, where people can add their own reporting category.
So we don't have that right now. I wonder if there would be a way that like you could set up your call center as a team though. And
Yeah, maybe we
yeah,
can do that.
and then you
Yeah.
can filter by the team to show,
Yes.
and it would
I mean,
just,
that's what we would be doing, but I was just wondering.
yeah. Yeah, so we
Okay.
don't really, I think that might be the best option. And I know Sarah could help you like kind of walk through creating that. And then you could definitely just filter by that team and see just that cost center.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's enough.
All right. Well, I think that's all I had for reporting, unless you guys have any other questions.
Yes. Can we export reporting because we will have a lot of users and most likely we want to compile some graph by ourselves. So more like exporting raw data, really.
You can. So, like if you select on the learner's report, for example, to export it, it will bring up the different categories from this page that you want to export. So based on what you're talking about, you probably are just going to need the learner's performance. And if you hit export, it's going to export this table down here. So it's going to export this, and then you can use that to create your own graphs and create the report that you want to hand off.
And is it in Excel that it's exported?
It
Can you
is.
show us how the Excel looks like?
Yep. Just export here.
So you can see the overall performance of the learner, but not exactly by which course, on which course they spend how much time and so on, right? It's already aggregated data is what I mean.
Right. So that is aggregated, what we're looking at here. And let me just open it real quick. Let me get to my.
While you're doing
But
that too, Missy, I wanted to mention to anyone watching this recording and seeing some of these questions and seeing some of these features, if there's something that comes up while you're watching this recording that pops to mind and you have suggestions or ideas, reach out to your account manager and absolutely let them know, what recording and reporting and analytics ideas that you have.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan. So
Mhm.
it is a roll up what you're looking at here because it just printed what the page information that I was on, but it basically just spits it out this way. If you go back to, let me get back to here. If you wanted like more information to like maybe go to courses and you know that you're looking like you've assigned out the Microsoft Excel Basic and Advanced course to everybody. You can click specifically on that course, and then there is more information here too that you can export and get information that way as well.
Maggie, would that work for you better, maybe?
I think we're used to having more access to raw data, but let's have a look when we start deploying courses, because very quickly we are going to get the request for reporting, obviously.
Yeah. And
Yes.
like, how soon are you guys deploying courses?
In
Already ready.
January.
Already
Yes,
But
good.
already.
yeah, but in January would be to more users.
Okay. So I think that performance report would maybe provide you with that row data that you're looking for too. So watch for that. And I know Sarah can let you know when that's available.